guys? Dr. Mo here, Digital Nomad Physician at digitalnomadphysician.com. Welcome to the clinic, the little desk that I had to build just to have some space to work on. So, for those of you who are new, I'm opening this walk-in clinic here in Long Beach, cash walk-in clinic. Now, when you're building any kind of clinic, whether it's virtual or in person, one of the most important things to pay attention to is the patient experience. It's the patient journey, as the nerds call it. So what do I mean by that? When I have a patient come in for the very first point of contact, meaning they see the doors, they see the sign, they come in and they're like, actually, I want to get my care here, to the time that they actually leave, I have to pretty much have that fully mapped out. So for me, one theory that I had is I can probably get a patient in to my clinic from beginning to the end, and maybe in about 15 to 20 minutes, I could complete everything. So I put it to a test. I decided, all right, let me just put this to the test. I was really, really sure that this is going to work out. When I was in my urgent care shift, I was doing urgent care for a local urgent care company, I timed myself. I took my phone out, I clicked the timer from the second I walked in until I finished the note. And most of them were taking about 20 to 22 minutes. So think about that. That doesn't even account for my medical assistant or the front desk person checking that person in, answering their questions about their insurance, collecting the information, doing the vitals, explaining things, answering the patient's questions. All of that is on top of the time that I spend. One example that stands out is an abscess that I drained. Now this was a bit of a complicated abscess. It was a buttock abscess, so those tend to take a lot of time. And from the minute I walked into the exam room until I finished the chart, it was about 32 minutes. 32 minutes. Now, fortunately, there was no time of the nurse setting up because she probably didn't know if I was going to do any procedure. So I set everything up myself while I was talking to the patient. But it felt rushed. It still felt rushed. I was trying to get things done kind of quickly. So the patient journey is something you're going to have to map out. It's something you're going to have to experiment with. Not only that, you'll have to decide whether you're going to do it quickly, whether you're going to blow through the patients quickly and see as many patients as possible. And that's fine. I think there is a really good argument to say that your own private medical practice can run in many ways. It can be super efficient and price conscious. It can be a little bit of a higher touch point and you see fewer people, or it could be at the top level of concierge and you're charging quite a bit of money for that. I don't think I want to do that high touch concierge clinic here. At least I'm not really excited to do something like that. It would mean I would have to charge somewhere around probably close to $250 per appointment, and then maybe give somebody an hour of my time, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's something I can certainly pivot to. In fact, when you have your clinic, when you build your clinic, that's something you should consider. What if you want to do that? More and more doctors these days, in their insurance-based practice, are adding a concierge fee. They're adding $5,000 a year, $10,000, $15,000, and of course, much more than that a year. On top of that, they bill your insurance. So most concierge practices are hybrid. Me, when I ran the numbers in the beginning and I thought, okay, I could probably get patients 15 to 20 minutes out the door, I could probably see 3 patients an hour. Now I'm thinking it's going to be closer to about 2 patients an hour. So there's 2 options that I have to still meet my bottom line. One is I can take away all the services that I thought I would do. So for example, in the beginning, I thought I'm going to offer some small procedures, small abscesses, small lacerations, maybe ear lavage and things like that. I don't think so. I don't think I can do that. That would take so much time. The cleanup, everything would take so much time, especially if I'm doing it myself. So I think that's out the door. And instead, I'm going to focus on lower acuity, simpler concepts, simpler visits that I'm going to see patients for. I'm not going to do those procedures. And remember, the idea of the clinic was not to include everything in one price. So if I'm now just charging $100 for a patient and I don't have a whole lot of other stuff that I have to do to them, there aren't a lot of other expenses, it might still work out. It would come out to somewhere around $200 an hour, right? That's 2 patients an hour. But now with a walk-in clinic, you got to think about that. you might have 4 or 5 patients in your exam room waiting, and 4 or 5 patients, that's about 2-hour wait already, and a walk-in clinic is supposed to be faster, quicker. Those are the things that you have to consider. Now, chances are that you're going to get more efficient over time, and definitely you don't want to see a lot of complicated patients in the beginning anyway. You don't, or at least you don't want to see a lot of patients in the beginning. You're probably going to take your time and maybe have 1 or 2 patients a day. And that is the time to use to really improve the workflow of your clinic. So if you guys want to find out more, subscribe to the channel. You can email me, drmo@digitalnomadphysician.com. Take care.